Demonstration of the Marunaka edge press, solid wood edge banding machine. We'll be pressing some door cores, LVL door cores, putting a solid edge banding on, and I'll set the substrate up on the heating bar. It doesn't take long to heat, gets it plenty hot. Next step is gluing the edge banding. Using a pneumatic pressurized system to put the glue on. Any PVA glue works on this machine, so you get a really strong joint, unlike an automatic edge bander with hot melt glue. Normally for cabinet parts we would just use a quick setting tight bond, quick interior glue. Right now I'm using Tight Bond 3. These are exterior doors, fairly protected exterior doors. So I just get the glue on there. I'll place the edge banding in the machine. So there's a little edge press that holds the edge banding. If it's a little crooked or bowed, this clamps. And you can also see there's a little lip here so that the edge banding will protrude from the substrate just a little bit to allow for flush trimming. So I will set the edge banding. Okay, that holds it. And then I just simply take the substrate, which is heated now, fairly hot, drop it in, usually rub it a little, and hit the clamp. So this is set for pressing these for about 2.5 minutes. You can adjust it from 0 to 3 minutes. This is about right for this thicker material. Cabinet parts with 1/4 inch banding, probably can press it for a minute, or we usually set it so one guy can just continually heat and glue banding, so it's fairly quick. And in the meantime I can place another substrate up there to be heating, and grab another banding and start gluing. But I'll explain the machine a little bit further here. These are a couple that I've just pressed. And you can see that's protruding more than it needs to. Actually, if they're 30-second wider than the substrate, each side is fine. It positions this one side about a 30-second out. You can see how tight that presses onto that LVL core. So that one's heating. I could be gluing another edge banding. A little bit of information on how to use the machine up here. It's pretty simple. There's this backstop for, it's when you're doing cabinet parts, it's at an angle, so you can put as wide as you want up there. The machine is 8 feet long. It can clamp from 1/2 inch to 50 millimeters, which is just a little over 2 inches. You could probably edge band 3/8 material on this. These are little setting blocks for the thickness, so it's real simple to adjust. If I wanted to go press cabinet parts now, it would be a couple minutes just to readjust these. There's the control panel, on off, temperature control. I don't have it set at the highest. Timer, I've got it set for about 2.5 minutes. And then these are the adjustable pressures for the clamps, the edge clamp pressure, which I turned up just a little because these are thick. There's the foot pedal. First one is to set the edge banding, then the second one activates the side press and then fills the fire hose to put the pressure on. A couple emergency stops on each side. If you hit those, it unclamps everything right away. A little better view of the machine. It's on wheels. Oh, there it goes. That one's pressed. It can come out, and in the meantime I'd be putting this other one on. You do need to flush trim with this machine, and we use a shaper for that. Here you can see the backside with the air cylinders and the adjustments for turning the pressure up or down. The machine is 220 single phase, so all in all it's a pretty simple edge bander. I'll show you how we flush trim these. Come over to the shaper. We just have a simple fixture on the shaper that the substrate rides on. Use a power feeder with a nice rebating bit. Gives a real clean cut on the edge. You can see this one's already been flush trimmed. So that's pretty simple. You can flush trim parts pretty quickly with the shaper, or you can also use the flush trimming machine. A little bit slower, but both methods work pretty well. That's about it for the Marunaka bander. It's a nice little machine for the craftsman. You don't want to spend a lot of money for an expensive automatic edge bander. The nice thing is the quality of the edge is very good on this machine. Next, I'll demo gluing a 1/4 inch thick edge banding onto a 3/4 thick mahogany MDF core veneer piece. So once again, I'll heat the substrate up on the bar. And glue my edge banding. This time I'm just using Titebond 1. Also, when you're just doing one piece, you need to put a spacer in the machine just so it presses evenly. You can also put continuous pieces, several pieces, 3 or 4 pieces at one time. So I'm just going to simply use a little Titebond 1 on the edge banding. Any PVA glue will work for this. So I'll position this in the machine, hit the edge band holder. Once again, this heats pretty quickly. I now have set the machine down time. I think it's only going to go for about a minute. So same thing, just rub that. Put pressure to it. So all I had to do to change was to move my block to the 20. It's got several 20, 30, 40, and 50 millimeter spacing, and then you can also put shims in there for custom spacing if you like. So that part's pretty simple. Like I said, I'm gonna press this one for a shorter time. Yeah, normally doing cabinet parts, we'd cut them a little oversized and just stack them up and do 3 or 4 parts at one time. Or you can do 8-foot sheets. The machine, you can clamp 8 feet in the machine. I made the banding, the MDF core veneer is about exactly 3/4, 19.1, and I just made the banding 1 millimeter oversized so that we're not trimming that much. It actually positions the banding pretty easily, accurately and easily. So that should be getting ready to release here in a second. Pull the banding out and show you what it looks like pressed. So you can see that it kind of positions the banding on there, just overhanging a little. Makes it easy to trim. Flush trimming of our door core edge bandings on the shaper. You can see I've got quite a bit to trim off this one. I got the banding a little wider than I needed to, but it'll take it no problem. nicely flush trim.